Hello and welcome to the Reflection Show. My name is Martha Anabila. A lot of us hear different kinds of tunes and we say, as music, this is nice, this is a song. But do we know what music actually stands for? Do we know the types of music? Everybody just gets up any day and puts in beats together and they are singing and we are jumping all over the place. Today I'll be having a conversation with young people from the Tamale Youth Choir. They are a choir that are always available to grace your occasion, to participate in any activity that you do. They'll be helping us to really look at music. I think most of us don't know what music is all about. On this episode on the Reflection Show, you would understand what music is about. Let's go for a break. When we are back, we start the conversation. Stay tuned. Welcome back. It's still the Reflection Show with me, Martha Anabila. We'll be looking at understanding music and then we'll be hearing some tunes today on the show. So just stay glued to your seat and enjoy this episode. I'll be speaking with Samuel. Please help me with your surname. Dowana Mensah and Divine.
Hey, I'm away.
I'm a what?
I'm away.
Okay, you heard that for yourself. And also, there are others who will also be taking us through the tune. During the time, I will introduce them. But these two gentlemen are going to tell us all about music and maybe something that we don't even know or we don't understand. For me, all I know is that there is a beat somewhere, somebody has put in the lyrics somewhere, and it's nice to my ears, so I just want to jump to it. But there is more to that as well. My hair and makeup is by Indem's Beauty Salon. You can get their contact details on your screen. Let's go straight to the discussion for today. Welcome, gentlemen, to the Reflection Show.
Thank you.
Yes, I think it's the second time having you. The first was the Youth Empowerment Summit 2021 and having you here. Music, the professional perspective. What is music all about? Let me start with you.
Music, personal perspective of music. Music is not just the sounds that we hear. In fact, someone once said music can make someone kill or even just change the personality or what the person feels. Music in general, there are sounds that have the same frequency or make sense to the human ear. What is music to me will be noise to you. I'm a choral lover. In fact, I'm a choral person. I love choral music, classical, and some of R&B. I grew up in reggae world. In fact, that's what my dad actually listened to. So I grew up in the reggae muffin. I think that's what I can say about music in general.
What is music to you?
Well, from my own perspective, I think music is an art of sound that is put together to give you a beautiful melody and even harmony. Music actually has a lot of elements in them from the professional perspective. I think he's even mentioned one of them, talking of emotion. Yes, that is where music can actually trigger an emotion in you to do something that you might be like, wow, I was not expecting that. But that's what music can do. So music is, in a way, music helps us to communicate. Because whatever you want to pass out, instead of saying it, you decide to put it to music.
Like the love songs we hear, you want to tell your beloved
exactly,
and
exactly.
Just say, let me write a song for her.
Music does a lot of things. Music is, and solely, that's one way to look at it. It's also a comforter. You know, sometimes you are very down and then you just listen to a particular kind of song and be like, oh, you feel like you are good today.
It's like Joe Meto's latest song, Kadosh.
Wow.
When I listen to that song, something is doing me. Yeah, so yes, you began by saying that from your dad, that is how you started. Did he have to force you or it was just something that you grew up into? So you were just following the lane?
Well, I didn't have a choice. Anyway, every day in the morning he would play it from his radio. So I actually was just following it. So I say subconsciously, I just got to love it.
How did you get into music?
Well, for me, I was born into it.
Hey, everybody was born into it. Me, where was I born? Yeah.
Well, my dad was a musician.
Okay.
As one of his hobbies, he was a musician. So I was actually born into it, and I think I picked it from there. So I decided to follow it to the professional level.
I think when I was told about this topic, what really triggered me to learn for myself today was the types of music. In Assemblies of God, sometimes we have some hymns that we sing, and that's like, it's like there's a different type of music. You mentioned reggae, and we expect that you have some rasta on your hair and jumping all over the place, and we have the choral music. Take us through the type of music that we have, or the type, I don't know, but types, just what I've said that we have. How can one be able to identify that this is a song this is a reggae song, or this is a hymn song, and all of that?
Usually, music is determined by the beat,
Okay.
the rhythm of the song, respectively. The rhythm of the song tells the kinds of songs. Usually, every time we hear, like you said, ooh, hoo, 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 that means that choir music is what we are listening to. But when you hear something more of a shaky, you can tell, okay, this is either rock music or an R&B, and we all know R&Bs are quite suiting and more of love. Talk about love.
Nice.
But then we can have this hoo that talks about love, but then we grew up knowing that aspect, or when we hear that, it's talking about God. So I think usually music, to tell the differentiate between music, the beat and the sounds that we hear.
Okay, so
Yeah.
choral music. Tell us about what makes music choral.
Well, choral music, I would take choral music as a song written for a choir to sing. I think with the spelling, choral, you have choral that ends with A-L and the one that ends with the E. I think my director or the boss here will be able to tell me.
Boss, tell us choral music. When we say
Yeah.
choral music, what is choral music?
Well, I think generally he has just said that when we take choral music is music that is written for a choir to perform. That is usually in 2 or more parts. But I think with the E and the L he's talking about, we have chorale sometimes being used to represent. Chorale simply means choir. Sometimes it also means a hymn. So actually choral music is music that is written for a choir. And with those ones, they are usually scripted. So that means that each part knows that this is what you are supposed to sing.
That's the one. Sometimes you see that when people are ministering, they
Exactly.
have like papers in
Yeah.
front of them, and they are ministering all of that. So if I just put some words together and give it to a choir, that's choral.
Not entirely. Now that is where it gets interesting. Choral music is actually scripted, which means that it's written for a number of parts and it's harmonized. So it means that even for a choir, you would know that, okay, that's where you hear the soprano, the alto, the contralto, countertenors, tenors, and baritone and basses. So that is where you actually see that when you want to write choral music for a choir, it means that it has a particular form that it has to take so that they can understand when they pick it. That's why you usually see some people, they are having a sheet when they are singing. It's just the musical note that is put there with the words. Unless, of course, it is instrumental, that is where you don't have words. But if it's a choir, that means that it has to follow a particular pattern so that they understand.
The highs and the lows, they get to
Exactly.
understand. At this part, you have to sing the highs and the lows. Now, reggae, you mentioned reggae. Is it the beat that makes it reggae, or what really makes it reggae?
The beat actually makes it reggae. Some may say the lyrics in it that makes it reggae. But then to me, the lyric does not really matter because there is a reggae song that is gospel. And the gospel part of it is just the lyrics that talks about God. And so to me, the beat in the music makes the kind of music.
How about jazz? I think we don't even see a lot of jazz in our parts of the world, do we?
Well, I think that jazz music is more of improvisation. That's where you have the freedom to do your own thing, but it should still correspond with what is being actually sung. So with jazz music, you don't actually need a script to flow along, but you should be able to improvise. Talking about you composing and performing at the same time. And with that one, as soon as you play that and you're asked to play again, you might play something different because you are creating and performing at the same time. So it is actually not so easy, jazz music.
Hymns. We grew up, I think the first kind of music that a lot of us saw was the hymn. We get to, I said the hymn and I remembered a funny thing I saw on Facebook, and someone couldn't spell him and just said and the person was asking that, okay, so this Sunday, what are we singing in church? Anyways, that is the first kind of music most of us met in Catholic, in Assemblies of God, in Pentecost. These are some of the songs that we easily come across. How did the hymn music, like what is the hymn music at all? Why should it be like? I saw sometimes some way I said you can't shout. You just, and I asked them, you have to be sober. You ask, I don't want to marry. I'm a radish. So you have to be sober. That kind of thing. Why is it like that? Okay,
well,
yeah.
In fact, some of us from the reggae, like I said, I was listening to reggae, and one time I was passing beside someone, I was going home from school, and I heard this rhythm, and it was the rhythm I fell in love with. So it's not all the time that music, it's about the lyrics.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just the rhythm in it. Like jazz music, more often it's about the rhythm in it. There's no really any lyrics in it that tells the song. Hymn has, like you said, it has a procedure you need to follow. I think from the very beginning, it has always been, I'll not say sober, but it has to be quite cool.
You have to be sad.
But let me say, you have to be soft.
Yeah.
You have to be soft. Yeah, to sing it. You need to be calm to sing it. And I may not know the reason, or I don't know the reason why, but this is just a criteria.
Generations after generations.
Yeah. This is just the criteria we all know about hymns. Yeah.
And now with do we have gospel dance hall?
Well, I've not heard of gospel dance hall, but with some kind of music here, dance hall, like we said, dance hall is all about the beat in the music, right? So if the music sounds dance hall,
something like Onaga.
I really do not know what
Onaga is. Hey, what is Onaga? Anyways, so it means that at the end of the day, everybody is able to fit in a kind of category of music. Yeah. Some would like reggae, some would like choral, some would like etc. So how do I actually know that maybe you are people that have been singing, you perform at events and all of that? How do you know the need of your audience?
Based on where we are going. Assuming you're coming for a program like this, the reflection, it's open to any kind of music. And so we tell what kind of music we are going to sing based on the venue or what the program is about. If the program is more about God, we sing songs that lyrically talk about God. If it's more about patriotism, we talk about, or we sing songs that hit patriotic issues.
We've heard of contemporary music. And also Sammy.
Well, contemporary, as the word suggests, modern times. Okay. So that is just like modern music. Now that is influenced by culture, and then new things that comes in, and we use it to actually form music. Not moving away from the question. Previously, just like you're asking of hymn. Sometimes hymns are not as solemn as we think. Some hymns are very, very demanding. So with hymns, it has a lot of emotions in them. Talking about even the words will tell you that this part should be, it shouldn't be so slow. It should be fast. You can't be praising God at a point, and then you are singing it so it's like, oh, but then you get the point that is the words are actually very, very emotional or deep down. These are words that are actually touching in a particular. You can't sing it while you are shouting. So sometimes the text is one of the key things that will actually tell you that, okay, this is how you should do it. Now going back to the question, you see that it's not actually so different, because in modern times it means that if I pick particular words Okay, so now this is what is happening currently. If I see that, okay, we are talking about Ilevi, and I begin, I pick Ilevi, I write my own music, and we are singing it. So usually contemporary is just about modern times music that's been written.
Trending.
Yes, but then with the choral, it doesn't actually have to be current. Like I'm saying, something that's been documented for centuries can still be performed today and to the same standard, and you can change it because you think that, oh, the same new era. So when I pick the hymn, for example, to God be the glory, that's what you sing. Ages to come, they'll still sing that same thing. So you can pick it and see you want to sing it. To God be the glory. You can't change it like that.
And someone can do that, lah.
Yes, but that is not the original text.
Yeah,
you always give reference to that original text. So that is just what I'm saying, that with contemporary, like modern times. But with choral, even though we can have new pieces in this era, I think that's one of the things that actually conflicts the era, different from the style of writing. We are in modern times, but someone can still write a piece of music in the style of the Ebibinyum. I don't know if you know Ebibinyum. That's just one of the ways I can actually explain this.
Okay. Now we've understood these kinds of music, and I understood that there are some things that we can't change. We just have to follow the trend till. And we also have what we can also change in our modern times now. Is it every musician that's supposed to be out there? Like, I was telling I was having a conversation, I think a few weeks ago, about the fact that it's like now everybody wants to be the Joe Mettals, the Sonia Badu, the Diana Hamiltons, and all of that. Is it something that is compulsory in the music world? Should you always be a star out there, or you can, I don't know, but it's like everybody who is coming up in music wants to be that big. What is happening in that sector? We don't see that a lot in the choral, those are actually majorly in choral. What is different? Why is their style of music, quote and unquote, easily to sell than the choral music? Divine, let me come with you on that.
It all comes down to the kind of music, and as you were saying, the time or the age of the music. I wouldn't say hymn or choral music is old, but then those days they would say choral music dance is always 1 and 2, 1 and 2. But today we don't see that anymore. We don't like
that one.
We don't see that. We have more of the jump and maybe some zone. We put some of these, in fact, latex dance in them. But then it's in us. That's how we grew up. We still see, no matter how we try to tune to change it, it's still hymn, it's still choral old music. And I think that aspect is what is preventing choral music from reaching that height. But then it's happening, in fact, it's happening. I will use harmonious choral as one who has reached great standards. But when it comes to the contemporary music, it's brand new in the system, so it's easy to sell.
And yeah, everybody. And now we have a lot of the youngsters. That's what they. So I want you guys to perform something for my viewers and I. Anything that you want to do. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Books by Pastor A.L. Fant. They are inspired by the Holy Spirit, simple to comprehend, relevant in application, and so lovely to read. Grab copies like Dynamics of Kingdom Influence, Dynamics of Ministry, Marcus King for Church Workers, Money Matters, and she calls herself a woman. This marriage must work. No more curses. Loaded mouth. Secrets of kingdom dominion. The exploits of service. Things fall apart. Church without bleeding pulpit. Singles mingle, and many more.
Through it all, through it all, through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus the more. Through it all, through it all, through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus the more. Many trials and sorrows, temptations and trouble, He's been my refuge, my Savior, my strength. His promises are very sure. He is a God who never fails. I've learned to trust in Jesus the more. Many trials and sorrows, temptations and troubles, He's been my refuge, my Savior, my strength. His promises are very sure. He is a God who never fails. I've learned to trust in Jesus the more.
So this is what song? This is what type?
This is a choral piece, but in the style of contemporary.
Choral piece.
Yes.
But in the style of.
Yes,
Okay.
contemporary.
Okay. Do you have another type for us?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. So that today we are really coming to digest the different types of songs or music, so that you'll be able to know which of them that you can maybe align with or something. Yeah. So let's go ahead.
Jeez, this goes not easy.
So if you're home and your church choir members are around, tell them to watch this episode, because there is something really new to learn on the show. Yeah, we are ready when you are ready.
Strings.
Yenam kobeyina yameni yenam Elam isazina yabeyehu yabutal Nenti yajizi yayamibeye Abeyama sewujeda yami beyama. Era sozignan so yami nimnuna yami jabatan ninsaso Yarado Denti Yajizi Yayamibeye Abeyama sewujeda yamibeyama. Jayezi Yenovya Yankayame Odija Esharada Tenti Yajizi Deyambibeye Abeyamauste Rodeza Yami Beyamau Jezinama Mazuru Soche Nazozezibiyara Kolinzi Beye Wozi Hemtim Yatizim Deyami Beye Abeyamau Sewoji
Wow. So this is what you just finished it.
It's a hymn, Infanti.
Oh, okay. Wow. I think I like this one than the first one. The first one is I was really sleepy. But it's nice. I like the energy. I like at a point it was like you guys are just opening your mouth and just singing, but the energy was so amazing. So it means that if you don't have energy, you can't even do this.
Exactly.
You need a lot of energy.
And it's like you are controlling your tongue and your lips, etc., and all of that. Do you have a last one for us, or that's all you have?
Yeah, I'll give you a Dagbani song.
Okay, let's do one in Dagbani, and
It's a folk song, actually.
Yeah,
it's a what?
A folk song.
A folk song.
Folk song.
Folk. Okay. All right. So my hometown people, Dakbados in Tamale and the northern zone. Let's get to. If you want to dance, I think this one is dancing there, right?
Yeah.
Hey, let me stand up. Let me stand up and dance. Okay, let's go ahead. Are you ready?
Yeah, bingo. Second.
Okay. Aha! Hey! Oh! We are doing. Is it gospel? Is it gospel?
No, it's a folk song.
Ah! Minute. Aha! So if you are home and you are watching us, today we are looking at understanding music, the different types of music.
Yeah,
different
yeah.
tunes.
Bingo,
Let's go.
yeah, yeah. Bingo, yeah, yeah. Bingo, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Bingo, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Bingo, yeah, yeah. Bingo, bingo, yeah, yeah. Bingo, 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 yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Bingo, 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 yeah, yeah. Bingo, 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 yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Bingo, 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 yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Bingo, 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 yeah, yeah. Bingo, 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 yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Taxi kalanga, taxi kalanga, taxi kalanga, taxi kalanga, taxi kalanga. Kabagona hanyamakumna, taxi kalanga, taxi kalanga, taxi kalanga, taxi kalanga, taxi kalanga, kalanga. Bingo, bingo, yeah, yeah, bingo, 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 yeah, 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 bingo, 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 yeah, yeah, bingo, 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 yeah, 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 taxi kalanga, taxi kalanga, taxi kalanga, taxi Kalanga, Kalanga, Katagornya hanya makunda, Kalanga, 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 bingo bingo ya ye, bingo 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 ya ye, bingo 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 ya ye, bingo 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 ya ye,
Wow.
bingo bingo ye ya ye, bingo bingo ye ya ye. Bingo bingo yeah 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 yeah. Bingo bingo yeah yeah yeah. Bingo bingo yeah yeah yeah. Bingo bingo yeah yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's a beautiful. You know, at a point, I wasn't really getting the lyrics because of the. But later on, I got to understand what they were saying. I wish I could sing, and I'll give you a song in Frafra, my dialect. But Charlie, if I start to sing now, the angels of God will vanish from here. It's amazing. It's amazing. Let's go for a break. When we are back, we continue. I believe you enjoyed some amazing tunes there. We had maybe if you don't want to know what did you sing?
Yes, I'm through it all.
So just go through. The first one was what?
Through it all, I've learned to trust.
Okay.
Jesus the
Okay.
more.
I mean that time it was a hymn.
No, that's the contemporary stuff.
Okay. Then you moved to.
The hymn, which is Nyajizi.
Okay.
That means have faith.
Okay.
And then from there we did Diamaila, which is a folk song in the
I know that song, but the way you were singing the song, at a
Yes.
point I was like, this is the song I know. It's
The
different
one
song.
we know has been arranged.
Yeah.
Hey!
But that one too is there. Maybe some other time we'll give that one.
There are times that you hear some guys singing and you know, like the song all of us know, they come and say, why are they not singing? What is that? Is it a skill or what? Now they want to, we just want to thank you, Lord. Why is it a skill that the contemporary people are now learning or what?
Well,
I think they call it.
Well, dear, well. But you get what I need.
Runs. Yes. I think they have a particular thing they use for it. But then, the thing is,
What does it do? Is it that it adds style to the song?
that's what I was talking about, being improvising. But then, the only issue with it is that the majority who do it, it's just a few who can actually do
Do
it
it
to
well.
make sense. Yes. Because if you want to do something like that, it should still not go away from the main thing. Because at times you do that and it doesn't make sense. It doesn't even sound like the original. But it should sound like the original, but you are decorating it to sound even beautiful more. So, but that is just.
So it's like a normal thing in music. You can stretch some of the words.
Well, not choral, like I said. If I say you sing it this way on my score, like the last one we did like this at the Jamaila, it's an arrangement I did myself. So if that sheet is sent to China, they'll perform it exactly how I want it, as it's indicated. But now if it is contemporary song, I sing it. It means that I can decide to do improvisation anywhere.
Yeah, because there are some songs like this popular Sinach song.
I know who I am.
Not I know who I am. The other Nansenya, not Nansenya, like I was listening to this song this morning. Sinach, you are here, Waymaker. There are different versions of that song. Is it something that is acceptable in music? Is it that they have to ask for her permission to do a different version, or you can just pick up someone's song and do a different version?
Well, that's where copyright comes in. She has to give the permission. She owns the original version of that song. So if you want to pick her song and redo it, you have to let her, she has to give you that approval.
Okay.
Just that, our part of the country, we don't really take the copyright serious. I think that's something we actually have to take very seriously. Because if I sit down to put together music, it's not easy to actually compose, to put all these together, lyrics, text, thinking about how it should go, beats, everything.
Then you would just take it
Just
and
get
it
up,
becomes
take it
your
and
own thing.
And the funny thing is that some of them actually make more money even than the
original.
Exactly.
I-
So
Well, it's not really a big deal in our part of our country. More often, in fact, a lot of people pick different kinds of music and just make it their own in different ways. To me, it's a big problem
Okay.
because I won't spend a lot of time. But music composition, it's not easy. I don't do some myself. I know a good friend who does, and in fact, every time I go to his place, he doesn't even want to see my face or even talk to me, because his mind is always occupied with a lot of rhythms and, in fact, lyrics that comes in. So doing all this work, and someone else from somewhere just picks the song and just twist one or two things in it and be like, okay, I've also done this. It's really a big problem. But at this part of our country, we really don't see it that way.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we really don't.
Now, for young people coming up who want to go into music with the kind of music that you do, what can you advise them about? Is it challenging? Is it difficult? What are the strategies on how to go about it?
Let me say, with choral music, it has rules and regulations. That's what makes it difficult. And I would insist and tell everyone out there, the youth, they should be patient and follow the rules and regulations. If not, they're just going to bring out music that later would have fault when they get bigger. Yeah. Yes.
What do you think young people should know? Especially those who are not just born into music and they actually want to be in music. What are the most important things they should pick up for?
well, the first thing I'd like to talk about is discipline. Music is a very disciplined activity, art. If you want to do music, you should be very disciplined. And choral music is one that requires a lot of discipline. You can't just do things anyhow because you think that, oh, I want to do it anyhow, so you do it anyhow. Like he's saying, there are laid down procedures that is recognized from the international world. We all know, okay, this is accepted as a standard. So if you want to actually go into music, not generally choral music, but just talking about music in general, you should be disciplined. And when you want to pick a particular area, pick it and then go at your own pace. That's what I think that's some of the mistake, like you are saying. A lot of people are in the system now. Oh, geometry is a star. You also want to get there, but it doesn't just happen.
Yeah, he took
the blink.
a lot
you
of
need
years
to
to
actually
get there.
plan to get there, and then you should have your own style. In as much as if it is choral you're performing, have your own. Write down the goals and visions or whatever you want to achieve. This is what I want to achieve, and you work towards them. You shouldn't just leave it vague. I want to become geometry, and that is all. Or you also want to get there, but then you have nothing to show that you want to get there.
Okay.
But you should have a vision that this is who you want to get,
Okay.
or you want to be in the next 5-10 years, and then you start working on it.
Where can people find you? People want to have you for their event, etc. Where can they find you? And do you charge? Free adverts out there. If people want to take your services, how do they go about it?
Well,
As we wrap up,
they can contact the number. Please
you
give
can
yours.
give your contact
Yeah.
numbers out.
You can contact us on 0247 998655. 0247 998655.
Okay, so we want you to take us away with some nice music tunes. But this one, I want the one that I can dance very well. The way you started, it was as if like it was a bit boring here and there. But we have been speaking with young people from the Tamale Youth Choir. Music is a very important element for everyone. And no matter whether you are happy, you are sad, you have a broken heart, whatever, there is the kind of music for you to listen to and for you to hear. And we've been able to establish the different kinds of music. And I believe that if you've watched this episode, you have been enlightened, and as great, especially for those who are music directors. I believe you pick up a thing or two from this episode. So let's get to have some songs and then go. So my hair and makeup is by Indem's Beauty Salon. Also, if you want to partner or sponsor the Reflection Show, call us on 054-9578 512 054 9578 512. My name is Martha Anabila. So we wrap up with a beautiful song from the Tamale Youth Choir. So let's go. So yes, you can join them. Let's. I can imagine the kind of song they're about to sing for us today.
Set for you. Set for you.
Heya dumo, nyaga dumo, adum keko na mesa masedo. Heya dumo, nama meso masebi. Heya dumo, lady ma bedu hayo. Heya dumo, nyamya dumo. Adum keko na mesa masedo. Adumo, nama meso masebi. Adumo, lady na bedu hayo. Adumo, nami adumo, nama mani naza. Adumo, nama meso masebi. Adumo, lady na bedu hayo. Adumo, nama mani naza. Adumo, nama meso masebi. Adumo, lady na bedu hayo. Behold, I am the Lord of hosts. Is there anything too hard for him? Behold, I am the Lord of hosts. Is there anything too hard for him? 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 Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 miampa na minyo, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, batam papa, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, mimayang bongkasa, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Because surrender to those that oye amba, ejonya miye oye amba oye 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 muma yang bongkasa oye 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 oye. Because surrender to those that oye ejonya miye oye amba oye. Oye, oye.
Hello and welcome to another wonderful episode of Thoughts from Martha Inspires. I am Martha Anabila. Today I want to talk to you about what I have captioned, don't dent your reputation. Sometimes when we look at reputation, we think about a kind of big brand being successful, being famous, or being a celebrity. That makes you have a reputation. No matter who you are, at what level you are, you can even be a student. Today I was talking to one of my mentees and I was telling her that she should be careful how she replies to students. She talks to her peers, or how her peers want to trigger her to get angry. Because in the next 2 years, she wants to stand as the SRC president of her school. But at that time, people are going to dig out something she might have done. Don't dent your image because you don't know the role, the career path you are going to be in the next 2, 3, 5 years, 10 years from now. Because social media never forgets. I know it's painful. I know it's hurtful. I know it's something that you don't even know how to deal with it and even how to go about it when somebody hurts you. But think about the purpose and the mandate that God has given you. That in the next few years, you want to stand as the president, as the minister. Something that you would have done 10 years ago can be a reason why you missed that opportunity. Preparing for your breakthrough is not just about working on yourself, of course. It means that being careful and omitting some of the mistakes that might have a negative impact on you in future. If you read my book, Inspiration for Purpose, I highlight that as a young person, you need to build your own name. Don't write on the names of your parents. The names, or maybe my uncle is a minister, so you hear the big names and you are comfortable about it. No. What is that brand, that name, that one day when they mention your name, Martha Anabila, it will be a name of weight. Don't dent your image. If you are in primary school, junior high school, senior high school, you are in the university or even above university, don't dent your image because social media will not forget you. Your friends would always want to come back to say something against you. When a pig is fighting with someone and the person gets angry and wants to fight back with the pig will drag the person to the mud. And later on, they will see the person and not the pig, because the pig's behavior is to always get dirty in the mud. But sometimes, but the level God wants to take you to, don't be dragged into the mud. Be careful how you allow when somebody insults you. Sometimes don't reply, don't retaliate. Silence solves issues, and rumors become meaningless with time. If possible, don't reply, because your reputation. You might think you were nobody today, but in the next 5-10 years, when you are about to be successful, that is where the enemy goes back to dig your past and want to cause problems and issues against you. Please don't give the devil a chance. Don't let people have things to say against you while you cannot access that breakthrough. It is tough. That is why you have to pray for that kind of grace. In short, make sure that the reputation you want to build in future starts from now. Reputation is built not just in a day, but for several years. Comes together to give you a very great and wonderful reputation. Be strong and of good courage. Be patient and believe that all things work together for your good. Thank you for watching this episode on Thoughts from Martha Inspires. I am Martha Anabila. See you next time. Hello and welcome to another wonderful episode of Thoughts from Martha Inspires. I am Martha Anabila. Today I want to talk to you about what I have captioned, the gift of goodbye. Unfortunately for a lot of us, we've gone through so much kind of pain or situations in our lives that we are not proud of, and we even blame God because of those circumstances. And we are so broken that it is difficult to let those things go. I want you to ask God to give you a gift of goodbye, to say goodbye to some things and some situations and some people out of your lives. Because if you are not able to say goodbye to those things, moving to the next step becomes very difficult and you become stagnant. Sometimes it can be a job, it can be a marriage, it can be a friendship, it can be a relationship, it can be something in your life that should go. Someone that hurts you, that must go. Someone that offended you, that must go. Someone that did something to you that you really felt that
why is this thing happening to me? You need the gift of goodbye. You need to say goodbye to certain things. So today I want to encourage all of you to pray and ask God to give you the gift, the heart, the mindset to say goodbye to anything that is so stagnant and painful in your life. I need you to forgive someone. I need you to tell someone that you are forgiven, even if they don't ask you. It's so painful, I know, but don't be hard on yourself. Don't be, yes. But even as the days goes by, tell yourself that you want to forgive the person. Even if you say you have forgiven by mouth and in your heart it is not forgiven, but it is a step for you to take to grow and to go, and you understand that the gift of goodbye is something that comes from God and God alone. Just ask God and He'll give you the gift of goodbye. It is important that even as we are growing, 5-10 years ago, something happened that is painful, that is hurtful, that cannot even stand anymore, and we are so pained about it. Please, can you have the gift to say goodbye? Can you say goodbye to somebody or something? Can you release yourself of that pain in your heart? Can you not pass on generational problems between your children and your other family's children? Let the children be free to carry on their parents' offenses. It's my prayer to everyone watching me today that God will grant you the grace to move ahead. God will grant you the mandate to believe that He has forgiven you, so you need to let go. It's my prayer for you today that whatever you are struggling to let go in your life, God is about to release a gift of goodbye upon you that you would have no choice than to go. We pray that the authority of the Holy Spirit will descend in your hearts at any moment that you are watching this video, that God will give you a new heart, a new smile, a new mandate for you to forgive. Because we need to let all the trashes go, because the Holy Spirit is around to give us peace and peace of mind for us to grow. In short, receive the gift to say goodbye to anything that have kept you in bondage, because you need to break free and to march forward, because you are not just born to add to the numbers, you are born to make an impact. Thank you for watching today's episode on Thoughts from Martha Inspired. I am Martha Annabella. See you next time.